Hello and welcome back to Stockton Junction. And been out shopping today. I've bought myself another decoder. It's because I'm going to need another one to use for the second power car on the APT. And 3 points so that I can finish off the second track for the other line, so that I can have 2 running lines completely. And I'm not going to worry too much about the siding lines and all that for now. I can do those later on. I've still got some, as you can see, some track work points to put in these places, and there's some further up that need to go in, so I'm going to do those. So I've got myself left to right and a curved point. So where these got to go, obviously I've got a crossover there from that track to that track. There's going to be the freight light line that comes off here and then joins back up the other end, but it's also going to go off that way to go round there. It's going to come across here, but a bit further out from the other track, just slightly, and across up the top here. Sorry about the mess all under there. I've got a load of stuff we're storing. And obviously this area on top, which is currently my Scenic's storage area for a lot of my scatters and that sort of thing. This is going to be a big diesel depot, so the board's going to continue out across to there, about there, and then the boards will obviously come across around there for the track work. I'm also going to have another line going across the back up there, which is going to be a heritage steam line with so that will be raised up above this track level, so this track will actually disappear down underneath. There'll be like a tunnel portals here somewhere. Then I'm going to have like a little country station and a little bit of village scene across this sort of corner. What the heritage line will do is it's going to come into a bay siding on the back wall there and stop. I'll have that set on a shuttle so that it just goes backwards and forwards on its own. I'm also going to have another little shuttle that goes from there with DMU. It will go underneath the back there and stop sort of somewhere around there on a timer and just come back in and out to the other side of the bay. It's just so that I've got a little bit of movement going on permanently when I'm running other trains. It just adds a little bit of extra interest. So I need to add, like here, because I'm going to have 2 points, 2 tracks coming off for to go around the platforms there. I'm going to have the same on this side, so that one for there, so that will split off. But for now I shall just worry about getting these points put in and the main track going up there to where it joins, and then up this end. So I've got a curved point there, as you can see, which will obviously be the other side of that other point coming round the platform. And it's going to be a similar situation to my last layout. So here there will be like an upper level here. So as per my old layout, the platforms will go in and underneath, so that it can give an appearance of them being actually longer than they are. Excuse me. And the platforms will continue all the way down to sort of down there, so they're going to be pretty big platforms anyway. So the next thing I've got is the other curved point to put around here, because it needs to come back a little bit, and then that can curve round there. And again, I'm going to have another crossover to this line coming up, so any trains that wanted to get into the freight line coming up from underneath on that side would come along, they'd just across to this line, and then there will be a second point here. I think I'll space it out a little bit just so that it's not so much of an S bend, sort of space it in between those two, and that will come across obviously to there, and then it can then come in onto the freight line, which will also continue back down that way round. It's going to be a little bit of a tight curve, but it's more for it's more the section I'm going to be doing on top of here, which is a complete and utter mess at the moment. That is going to be just more scenic, I am going to have tracks there with a plan for something I want to do, but it's not really so much of a running line. But obviously they'll come round there over this little bridge, and there'll be some sidings going down up here. But again, all of that area and the same with the diesel depot are going to be later on, much later on. My main goal at the moment is getting the 2 running lines finished, and then once they're done, some of the scenic work behind the running lines, because then it's easier to I want to be able to get to it all. So I've got that whole top that's going to be running all the way down there like that. This is the old walling from the old layout. I've put it there temporarily. I might try and reuse it. It's not in too bad nick. There's a few patches of white where things have ripped, but that can be covered up with a bit of weathering powders and bushes and grasses and etc. So I'd probably reuse this lot for the time being. But there's going to be a whole street scene going down there, sort of then sort of delving into almost countryside, and then obviously around to the village. And this whole top area here is all going to be covered like in the previous layout. So I'll have some other buildings and warehouses, all that sort of stuff. It'll come out of a tunnel sort of around here somewhere. I haven't decided whether it's going to be here or here, but I do want it not too far, you know, that way, because otherwise you lose a lot of the track viewing. And I also then need to be aware of derailments, so I have to have sections on the top part that are removable, etc. So it just starts to become a bit of a pain in designing it all. So I think I'll make it a little bit shorter, so it'll probably come to about here. This side can then come downhill slowly, you know, to sort of blend in with the area here, although I was thinking of building it up from here anyway, so it might actually end up coming up further up this end, just to sort of make a bit more of a maybe a cutting coming all round there, which will look quite good when I've got a camera train running. So that's what I'm planning. Now, I've always said to myself, I don't like Metcalf kits that much. I've got a load of kits that I've already made from like scale scenes and scale model scenery of low relief buildings from my old layout, which I will be reusing along here. I'll be bringing them down soon. But I thought, you know what, the Metcalf kits aren't all that bad, especially since I've got a lot of building work to do along the back there to sort of make it look decent. So I've bit the bullet. I've bought a few kits, but what I'll do is I'm going to upgrade them and make them better. I mean, there's things like on these corners, you can see that edge there so clearly. They should give you a paper sheet so that you can fold where you've got like this brickwork like that. If they had a paper sheet that you could use to actually glue down there and fold it round, it would look much better. I'm going to have to design something like that myself using like builder's sheets from the likes of scale model scenery or scale scenes. So I've got this set. I've also bought the relief department store, and I've also actually got 2. Why 2? Because if you turn it over, you can turn the end. This end piece here will turn either way, so that you can make it into one big long building that's going to take up a lot of more space, and it's going to look quite good. So I'm going to obviously change all the names of the businesses to real businesses of the time period. I've bought the cinema, which I'll go into in a minute, and a bank and shop. So again, I'll be changing all of that to make it more realistic. But what I'm going to do with the cinema, I don't like the 2 shops either side. In the days I remember, now I don't know obviously what other people have seen, but I remember going to the cinema, and here there'd be a wall and another wall with posters for the different films that you were going to go in and see. There wouldn't be shops within the same part of the building, not in the ones I've ever been to. So I'm going to modify this completely, obviously changing the whole bottom here and here, so something I might cover in a video, and I'm also going to modify a lot of the other buildings. So if it's, I might show that, especially this one, how to make it, you know, really good, to make it look realistic, because I don't think that looks realistic for a cinema for me. So I'm going to do that. I'll try and do a video on that one. So my next job is I'm going to be doing this track work quickly, or not too quickly, I don't want to make it wrong, but I need to get it done soon. And also I'm planning on doing some more testing with the APT. So I'm going to use the power base magnets on the actual bottoms of the bogies on the power car, see if that helps. I'm also going to do this, I'm actually also going to put the magnets on the power car that had the jumpy wheel, just to see if that pulls it down better, if it stops it from jumping off the track. It might not be so jumpy on the dead flats, so I'll have a look. I'm going to have a quick test out of that. If not, it's going to have to go back for repair to Hornby. I did try actually calling them this morning. I sat on the phone for 25 minutes in a queue. I got so fed up with waiting, I hung up. They did take quite a while to thing, and I think there's quite a few people in front of me still. It had hardly moved, and I was like, this is going to be at least another hour. They were busy, so I'll try calling them back at a quieter period to look at getting that NDM exchanged if I can't sort of get it working properly. So I'll let you know on that one. Anyway, I'm gonna do a bit of track work, and I'll see you all guys soon. See all of you guys soon. So thank you, thanks for watching, and take care. Bye.